So recently, I think it's come to a lot of people's attentions that Assassin's Creed Odyssey has found itself in a spot of controversy, which should have been the case from the start, because the problem people are having has been present since the game was launched. But you know, that's not what today's video is about. If you want to watch a video about that, I will leave a link at the end of this video. You know, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, the last 20 seconds of this video. So you know what? Either skip all the way to there or watch the video. Now, today's topic is about something a bit more broad than just Odyssey. It's about that apparently Assassin's Creed as a franchise doesn't have any official lore keepers. What? Now, apparently in an interview with Melissa McCaubrey, is it, who was a narrative director or something on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Unfortunately, I can't check that because she blocked me on Twitter for giving Assassin's Creed Odyssey a 7 out of 10 review and suggesting ways to improve. That, or maybe I call that a colleague for calling my opinion invalid because of too much baggage, which is what I would like to call 11 years worth of experience with the franchise. Okay, I'm getting too angry, I need to settle down. Well, apparently, according to this interview, Ubisoft refer to the wiki when it comes to making their new lore, which is quite a flawed model and suggests that they don't actually have a lorekeeper. And now, there's nothing wrong with referring to the wiki, don't get me wrong, the people on there are always on the ball. They're actually kind of made up of like the zealots of a fan base, so if anybody's going to notice defacing and rectify it quickly, it's the heads who are always on the wiki. So mad respect to those people, and don't get me wrong, most of the time it is quite reliable. But in those few seconds that somebody decides to deface something, what if they're the same few seconds that said defaced page is viewed by a Ubisoft employee referring to lore while making narrative decisions? I tell you what happens, the 4 pillars come to town, that's what, and we rant and we rave, and why the fuck have I not got a sword? Who made that? No, it just means there's a slight chance that flawed lore could find its way into Assassin's Creed games. And let's be honest, Assassin's Creed hasn't been the most consistent with its lore recently, especially considering that Darius literally embodies an assassin 400 years before assassins were even a thing. Then there are the other lore inconsistencies, like the entirety of the Assassin's Creed movie and all this wonderful stuff that could have so easily been avoided, it would seem, if Ubisoft had an official lore team to refer to. Not all franchises have this, no, a lot of them do refer to the wiki and enthusiastic fans to keep the lore instead of themselves, because that'll be a waste of resources. But in Assassin's Creed's case, this is a massive franchise, a multimedia franchise with a lot of stuff, with a lot of lore. It's a lot. There's always going to be inconsistencies even on their wiki pages. And it's a shame that developers have to refer to them in this case, because Assassin's Creed is a massive franchise, and with a franchise that big, you'll always run into lore inconsistencies if you're not using official sources. This is nobody's fault but the higher-ups. Surely to Christ they'd see how massive Assassin's Creed is, how lore heavy it is, and how plot holes might cause problems there. But instead of fix them, they don't have a lore keeping team at all, and a franchise this big would need an entire team dedicated to just the lore. But if you don't have that, which apparently they don't, you're really going to cause a shitstorm of plot holes. And Assassin's Creed has done exactly that. All these jokes about Assassin's Creed not knowing its own lore, and apparently it actually doesn't. That is hilarious and inspires tons of confidence. I know I shouldn't be surprised at this. What did I expect? Assassin's Creed has had no direction and has been contradicting itself for years. Though to be fair, it is mentioned that Ubisoft do try to make these lore documents in time for their games, but they always wind up getting finished afterwards, which isn't very helpful. Which means they need an actual team dedicated to just the lore keeping on top of it at all times. This would make everybody's life a whole lot easier and they'd know exactly what not to do. And Assassin's Creed definitely needs a lore overseer of some kind. And considering the size of Assassin's Creed, it would probably have to be a team. A dozen strong team, something like that. A concrete source for consultation when it comes to Assassin's Creed lore, so you know what can and can't be done. That would fix a load of issues. Now, I'm not saying it'd fix every issue. At this point, some of the problems that Assassin's Creed's broken lore have caused are too badly damaged. The only thing that could fix them is a reboot. And believe me, if you decanonize Bayek, I'm gonna stab your mum. It wouldn't promise the absence of plot holes in the future, but at least it would provide a solid source of constant lore that is reliable because it's in-house. This isn't the fault of the developers, they're doing the best with what they've got, and believe me, it could be a lot worse. But it speaks volumes about the higher-ups who are either very stupid or they just do not care about their cash cow. Now surely they understand that making that good would in turn generate more revenue. And in order for the developers to make a game good, they need to have the means to begin with, such as in-house lore keepers that they can consult on every little detail that they want, the time to actually innovate and finish their games properly, and all that. Without that, they can try to make a good game, they can put a lot of effort into it, they can have fun making it, sure, and they can make a fun experience to a mainstream audience. But when it comes to Assassin's Creed, it's going to be problematic. And Odyssey is an example of that. And in parts, Origins sort of is as well. Then there's all the comic book retcons and things like that, and Amor Azaziah going on Twitter because nobody's there to tell him no. Thankfully that doesn't happen anymore. And then you've got the Assassin's Creed movie. What even was that? You can like all these things all you want. I won't judge you for it. They can be quite fun, but they do mess with the lore. And from my high horse, that does kind of bugger me. My overall point is, for a franchise as big as Assassin's Creed, it needs a lore overseer of some kind, whether that be one guy or a team. Ideally a team. Assassin's Creed is very rich with lore. And with no clear end in sight to Assassin's Creed, it's never too late to get a lore keeper in. Of course, I'm sure there are many heads over on the wiki who would quite happily take that position. I mean, they already do what you need, except other people can edit it. At this point, having this in place won't fix everything. Assassin's Creed's issues are rooted in almost every level of its production. But as far as oversights go, not having a lore keeper is a massive one, especially considering all these plot holes and things that seemingly could have easily been avoided. Then there are the seeming communications issues that you have within Ubisoft. For example, apparently, the modern day is written by different people than the people who write this story for the historical part of the games. No wonder the modern day is so bad, janky and disconnected and completely dull and uninteresting. It needs to be interwoven with the historical story being told as well. So here's my recommended fix. Assign an official lore keeping team to keep tabs on the lore to prevent future plot holes from happening at the very least. It wouldn't be a permanent fix for everything, and it won't see drastic improvements overall, but it'll be a step in the right direction. And without it, plot holes can keep happening and the lore's just going to get more and more messed up. There's a possibility of making it better, but it will definitely prevent it from getting worse, at least from one angle of production. But there you go, those are my thoughts on Assassin's Creed not having an official lore keeper of some kind, which it could definitely do with. And I mean, with all these comics and things, it's hard to keep track of all of it, so better sooner rather than later, otherwise we're going to have a bigger mess on our hands. But anyways, rant over. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I do look forward to reading those, mostly. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.